Oh, here we go. All right, we are up. We are running. We are live.
You.
It is 1 o'clock over here on the East Coast, and it is a beautiful day here in New York.
Yeah.
JayJay, what's going on, brother?
Yo, I thought we were going to the intro. I thought we were going to the intro today. How am I looking today? Still looking fresh. Still looking hungry. That's all that matters. You know, someone messaged me. They said, you know, it annoys me because you look so fresh in a terrible time. I said, dude, the way I can keep my headspace good is I need to look fresh. If I look like shit, I'm gonna feel like shit.
Yeah, it's all about that appearance, you know.
Listen, man, this is the first step. If I look at myself, how will I feel? Like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to win. At least feeling good here, so I can go to the world. The better energy.
Those feelings. It's all about how you feel. If you feel good, then you perceive the world to be good, and then you're just rocking and rolling.
Well, look, you know what? I think it's a good start. I think that's the right way to be. You know, we don't have all the answers, but I can definitely tell you, I've been on this side of when it doesn't matter how much you try. If you don't just feel, what kind of energy you're going to be putting out to the people. And look at this with the beautiful light bulb, like the light bulb.
I know you've got that. You've got the light bulb as if you're going to get an idea up there.
Yeah. This is because we got ideas today, baby.
We got ideas today. Well, for everybody that's just tuning in, this is week 5, week 6, maybe. I think it's week 5, episode 5.
No, quarantine week 5.
Of episode 5 of Wingmen to Greatness. If you guys are just joining us here on Work From Home Network TV, that's my buddy JayJay. My name is Aaron Smalls, and we're your Wingmen to Greatness. You know, we're here to have a good time with you, share some ideas, some thoughts, some positivity, some creativity, give you guys some support, some energy, a lot of that. But before I get into even more of that, I'm just going to play the intro video.
Drop it.
Let's do it.
We here.
There you go.
We live with Aaron and JayJay. We live. Now listen, how's the energy in New York? You guys are on full lockdown, shutdown, meltdown, right?
I mean, it's things are crazy around here. You know, we're building, we're growing, we're getting there. We're starting to get things into a better place. Couple of things that are kind of going around here in New York on Monday. Without warning, the Empire State Building decided to change the lights, and it illuminated a different color.
Okay.
They lit it up red, like red and white, kind of like a beacon.
Okay.
Just to represent and like empower like those first responders and show like the heartbeat. I actually have a picture of it here. I'll pop it up on the screen.
There you go.
That's the Empire State Building. That's what it looks like.
What's with the UFO on top of that?
Because that's not a scene from Independence Day. That's what the Empire State Building looks like. That is
okay. All right. Well, listen, man. Listen, I'm ready to go to the next planet. I've ticked off enough boxes. If they're like, listen, we got space. If they're like Aaron and JayJay, Elon's calling. He wants you to go to Mars and be like, it's all right, I'm ready. What do I need? I'm like, I ticked enough. I'm done now.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to mate with the new species, and I'm ready to create. Mate and create.
You say that, but in Central Park, they actually set up a base camp. They actually set up tents for COVID-19 like patients. And I kind of snuck over, then I took a picture of the inside of those tents. So that's what it looks. This is what it looks like inside those tents.
Oh, of course you did. You're funny, man. Of course you did. I love that. No way we could deal with aliens. So that's why they haven't even told us. They're like, you know, and they're saying this is a test. let's see how good humans are, and they're realizing they're eating things like toilet paper for no reason. All right, we're not telling them anything. That was the test, and they failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JayJay, man, we're getting into the show. Tell everybody
Do it.
who you are and what's going on in your life.
So again, let's repeat that question. There was a delay of
Oh,
greatness.
it's delay. Tell everybody who you are and what's going on in your world.
Yeah, man. Look, my name's JayJay, all the way from Australia, but I travel all around the world. Just like Aaron, we are people's people. We bring the energy, we bring the joy. We want to move you to your greatness. Other than being an on-camera presenter, I have been coaching people, inspiring people to get to their next level. And now with what's going on in the world at the moment, all we have is this video presence that we can motivate and inspire. So, I'm here to help you take you to the next level. And I'm doing that with artists. I'm doing that with entertainers. I'm doing that with business owners who want to get their presence and their brand online to make an impact in the world. And that's what we're talking about today. How to get your brand, online.
Nice.
But brand's just a little bit better for the copy. You know what I mean? So, But I think it's really important, everybody, now where we're at, you could really be, I heard a guy that mentors me, not personally, but his name's Grant Cardone. And he's probably the cool Tony Robbins, in my opinion. I just relate to him. And he said the other day he was doing a big sort of COVID, how to deal with this. And he said, now, whatever you were in the past, right, was in the past, you can be anyone new now. There's no kind of you can jump ship if you need. And basically the whole point of this is don't get caught up in, hey, if you were, let's say, an entertainer, right, a singer, and you want to completely change tact and you want to start doing Amazon or you want to start selling pillows, you can do that now. And don't get caught up in the dignity, because we're all a zero playing field now. You're basically going to a new world. This is the way I'm paraphrasing it. You can restart again. And there's no kind of well, really? Of course, because we all need to. So I think that's a very powerful thing for you to understand. And I had to deal with that emotion of, what will people think of me? I'm not good enough. Why would they buy from me? Well, that's a mental thought in the thought here. But the whole point is you can be anyone new now. So just because you are in finance, but you want to start to learn to sing and you want to invest, do it. Do it. No one can stop you now. There's no rules anymore. So this is why I wanted to talk with Aaron and everyone watching right now. How can we take that idea that you might have, or that brand that you currently are thinking of doing, or even how do we put this online now? Because this is all we have. We need to get people to see you. We need to be seen. We need to be heard. So what can we do to do that? And that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah. How to get your brand online. So you mentioned so we're talking about getting the brands online. You said that you're working with other musicians and other entertainers and other business professionals right now. What are you doing with that? How are you helping them to get their brand online?
Yeah. So look, it's funny because I just had a call 5 minutes before we jumped on today. And the thing for me, which I really love, is for me, I love getting people out of their head. The first thing is getting out of their head and realizing, what do they want to do? Getting clear with me. Okay, what do you want to do? You want to do this. Great. Giving them some simple steps, right? And some wingman support as we do, and taking them from this to here, not from this to here, little steps. So what I'm doing is I'm having conversations with people and saying, hey, what do you want to do? What are you interested in doing? What makes you come alive? Great. Let's put a plan together and let's keep you accountable. And the big thing that I'm finding, Aaron, when I'm coaching people, is it's not as much the strategy or the discipline or the drive, right? It's more, they don't really want to do it, or they don't want to be a superstar, right? To their greatness.
Yeah.
It's the accountability, and that's this. I think as I'm doing more coaching, people know what they need to do. Most people aren't stupid. They know what they need to do. Yeah, there are a little few things that strategy might be, do I do this way or do this way? But the thing is, most people, they're not being accountable to their actions,
Okay.
you know? And look, I'm the worst at that as well, or consistent to what they're doing as well. But before you even get to consistency, accountability and being
So
accountable.
how do you fix that? How do you adjust that? What are some tips or tricks, or what do you need to do in order to be able to hold yourself accountable?
Sure. So you've got that's a personal thing depending on you, but there are a few different ways. So that's why I would invest in a coach, not because you're investing in someone that knows more than you, but someone that's obviously got your back, that you're paying them money, right? So for you to show up, basically. Because if you don't pay money, if you don't have enough draw or enough drive or enough pull, right? You just be like, oh yeah, I'll get to it. And we all know what that's like, you know?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your book, Aaron. You know, if you paid me, right, you wanted to write a book. Now, obviously it's not enough pull for you at the moment, whatever the reasons. And that's fine. Like I want to write a book, but it's not a itch. You know, it's not a shark bite, it's just an itch right now. Sorry, it's not an ant, it's an ant bite, not a shark bite for me. But if I said, Aaron, give me $5,000 and you don't get that back, you're going to lose it unless you give me 20 pages a day. Guess who's writing 20 pages a day? You are, right?
Yep.
So what we need to find out from people, right? And it's not just being accountable. Yes, we know that, but it's actually figuring out like, hey, what do you want to do, right? And do you really want to do it? You really want to do it? Not, I want to do it. And it's going to keep pressing at you. You know, that's the thing. You know, when people keep telling you to do something, you keep feeling and you notice, and like, okay, I've got to do something here. If it's really pressing at you, then I'm like, okay, great. We know that's really pressing at you. How can we make sure that you're going to do it? So we keep you accountable by you invest, you give your friend some cash, even like, hey, I'm going to give you this cash. If I don't get it done, you keep it. Man, I've done that before. It works. Another great way, and here's a perfect example. It's called what's the word? Not dignity. Not ridicule. I think it's ridicule online. Ridicule, where basically, if you set a date and you tell the world, right? So let's say I'm going to write this book by 1st of June, and every day you keep putting it out there. I think it's called ridicule. Yeah. So what happens if you know the 1st of June is coming up? If you don't get it done, basically self-embarrassment. You're going to feel so self-embarrassed. You're going to feel so embarrassed that you've told the world and it doesn't get done. That is a huge draw card for you to get it done, for you to keep being accountable. Does that make sense? Like when I had to do a keynote, when I had to do a leadership keynote presentation in Las Vegas just before Corona happened, it was March the 11th, right? By March, probably by like February 11th, I went, oh, shivers, I better get to work. All over the internet, like, I've got to show up.
Yeah.
Like, and the funny thing is, I know I haven't had enough pull for a while like that. And I'll tell you, it was so easy to do when I got into habit of doing these things. It's old school 101. I got up, I trained, I spent from 8 to 10:30 for about a week and a half every day writing the presentation. And that's all, but that's all I gave it.
Yeah.
You know, and then I would read it at night. Yeah, just a little bit. 2 hours in the morning. I would write it out. 2 hours. The thing is now, yes, could I have spent more time during the day doing that? Yeah, but mentally I had other things I wanted to do and like just life as well. So I spent 2 hours every morning, 8 to 10:30 every day. Dude, in 10 days, I finished it and it was like polished and it's online and it was like applause and everything. I'm like, okay, great.
That's great.
The way I got that done was I set a date. I had a date to the universe, and if I didn't get it done, I'd be embarrassed, and and it wasn't even embarrassment. I probably would never work. I probably wouldn't be able to do that ever again, I'd lose my credibility. So the feeling of defeat, right? And then the way I got it done was every day I spent 2 hours doing that, you know. And now I'm understanding how important it is, like, to speak to your friends about it, and your friends got to keep you accountable. But like, what else are you going to do? Yeah, I'm going to get it done. And you need someone who's tough. This is what we do, Aaron. We're here for each other, but we're here for you as your wingman. Your wingman aren't your mums who pat you on your back. That's not what it is. It's not a pat on the back. Wingman are people who are in your corner who got your back. But a wingman's gonna like, hey, a great wingman's gonna, hey, what are you doing? That's enough. Give me that. We're going. Come on. You know? And then you hate your wingman for a bit, but you always go, hey, my wingman, he's always got me. He's always got me. He doesn't always have you when you only really need him or when you need him for a little bit. He's there always, through the bad, through the good, and usually to put you in place sometimes too. You know? That's why they call it a big bro.
A big bro. Yeah, that's
big bro.
It's to kind of play off of what you're saying there about people holding themselves accountable and putting it out into the world and having that like embarrassing feeling when they don't accomplish that goal. I've heard it before from people, and the saying goes, people that don't pay attention.
Love
I'll
that.
throw it up there. People that don't pay
Love
don't
that.
pay attention.
Love it.
And essentially, it's not just financial payment. If you, of course, financial payment. If you're paying for a gym, or if you're paying for a therapist, or you're paying for whatever, if you're paying for it, you're much more likely to go to it, to attend it, to invest yourself in it. But it's not just payment in that sense of financial, of monetary. It's the investment and the payment as far as what you're investing in yourself, what you're investing as far as your time, what you're investing in other people, what you're paying out there. So it's a big piece of what you're saying. You've got to put it out there to people what you want to do. It doesn't have to be the whole thing, but it could just be like a piece of it. I don't have to give you the whole book. I don't have to tell you like this is this, but that accountability coming from you or coming from whoever else to just say, hey, how's that coming along? Are you making progress? Because not only you can put it off by yourself. Like when you're at home, you'll procrastinate. You're like, oh, I'll watch another episode of The Tiger here, but
it's man. Yeah, and look, you know, we all. I think it's a muscle that needs to be constantly, because you can't always have someone right next to you in your ear, like, hey, but that's a muscle that you've got to kick yourself out of, like, and that's why people like who are unproductive. It's like, it's just because it's not really unproductive. It's procrastination. I'm putting it off. You know. And look, I'm like, I can get that, you know. I'm redoing my visa at the moment. And, you know, every day I'll get to that. I know how easy it is. And I'm doing it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have done this a while ago because it's a little bit more work than I remembered. But it's the increments of little things. You know what I mean? So like, for example, when we are trying to get our brand online, when we are trying to like do what we need to do, it can be overwhelming. And I get that. So first, understand what you want to do. Right? Okay, great. I want to do that. Write it out. Great. Sit back. Okay. And I'm a big visual guy. So I like do the star. Like I put a circle and I put a star. Right? I go, okay, great. And this is where a coach or someone in your corner, right? And I use the word coach because, you know, we can coach our friends, but this is when you get a paid coach, they can get you out of your head. There's no bar of, you're not paying them to pat you on the back. You're paying them to tell you what to do, really, or advise you. So then you go, okay, great. I need to do that. Great. And then you look, how much time do I have in a day or whatever, however much time you want to put onto it, but then incremental stuff every day. So we need to figure out like, what can you do every day to get you to a better place, you know? And I think a lot of people are in too. What happens is it becomes so overwhelming, right? And they just don't want to do it, you know? Or one bit of pain, one bit of, it's hard, it makes you turn off. And I'll tell you perfectly this, because I'm doing a lot of visa mine documentation at the moment, like just making sure everything's perfect to print out. Like I don't want to miss stuff, you know? Every time I feel like it's work, I've been noticing I'm tending to like do something else, you know? Like it doesn't have to be like check my phone, because I know for me I know where I can fail with that, so I turn it down. But like, that's right, I should probably do that when I speak to it. What am I doing? Like, why am I even thinking about it? Focus, clear, super focus, right? And that's what I noticed as well, to come back to like how I got this presentation done, is that I turned off all distractions and I go 2.5 hours and I sat there and I didn't divert my mind. And, you know, it took me 20 minutes to get into the zone. But when I was in zone, it's like, okay, so, you know, I know we're going around in circles right now, but like accountability is super, super important, because it's, you know, I know, Aaron, that you're a pro, that you're amazing, that you can do it, that you'll be creative with the resources. And I know you've got the time. So what's stopping you from getting there right now? Well, it's you. And why, you know, someone's not keeping you accountable, are they? And then the first thing as well, otherwise I'll forget this, you need to be okay with saying that. And that's another whole energy that we need to probably talk about another time, like self-realization. And it's okay to say, I'm sorry. It's okay to say, I'm losing. It's okay to say, I don't have cash. It's okay to say, I need help. That takes a lot of emotion for someone to do. But once you can be present to that, then you can move forward and go, I need help. I need accountability. My accountability is terrible, right? Now, you and I, we're probably a bit more accustomed to owning that. But when you can own it, it's like, it's so easy, actually. You're like, yeah, I have been lazy. Okay, wake up. Let's go. What can we do?
We got some solid comments coming in. We got Alex saying, amen to that. We're getting out there to people, making some connection.
Amen to what? Amen to JayJay, Aaron, the show, the comment. Which comment?
I think it was about the discipline comment. But yeah, it popped in a little bit ago, and then of course we've got Anthony. I'm very glad Anthony is here, tuning in with us.
Listen, man. Listen, you know what it is? I'm gonna give you. Well, we should do an episode of. We'll do one episode of style. Sorry, I'm trying to get the lighting back to a little bit. Though I don't look like Casper, but we'll just own it today. Aaron can do the style, and I'll do the grooming. So Aaron with the style. That's our next show, the spin-off show. So we basically got your greatness, but how do we get great? Well, let's look at image and image fitness. You know, Aaron, we should. You know what? That's a great idea. When we get back to normal, I think you and I could host definitely like a lifestyle for men. Actually, that's great. We would look at us. People would buy us like that.
They'd eat it up. So okay, so let's take that idea and I'm gonna bring it back around.
Cool. Let's use it because we're talking about brand online, right? Okay.
Yeah. So
perfect.
We have that idea. How do we get that brand online? So there's a lot of people right now. You mentioned now is the time to reinvent ourselves, and we've got this time and we've got this energy. How do we get our brand online? How do we do that?
No, I love this. You know, the favorite thing for me is I treat it like we got to get to the cheese. We're two mouse, and we see the cheese over here. The cheese is the goal. And how do we get there? We can run there, we can climb there. Do we have to jump over? Or you got to get to the cheese somehow. So it's the same thing when you're trying to hit your goals. Okay, so you've got an idea, and let's say we're doing, Aaron, hey man, I want to run a lifestyle-driven, this is what I'm thinking, right? Here's the idea. Okay, what's the idea, JayJay? I think it would be great to be like lifestyle consultants for men. Great, let's write that down. Great, perfect. And I would ask Aaron, or let me just do it for me now, because it's most people probably not going to do it with someone else. So you go, okay, cool. You basically ask you or your partner or whatever, whoever you're doing with, okay, what are we thinking? What's the goal here? What do I like? Like, you know, what do I think would be cool? Okay, cool. I'm thinking, let me be honest. So what I'm thinking right now would be cool would be Aaron and I running our own television show where we take men and we basically it's like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, but it's a little bit more greatness driven. So instead of just boosting their confidence, we get them to get better goals. In return, they look good, feel good. We get them to the dating scene a little bit. If they're single, or we improve, we're giving them the elite life. We're like filling them up. We're giving them there's a word for it, but the complete package, you know, for a man. And then this is where all the people go, well, is that what a man is? Anyway, we're not going to go there. But you know what I mean? So, okay, cool. So now we go, okay, great. So we both want to be lifestyle advisors on television. Okay, great. Perfect. That's it. That's it right there. We're clear on that. Okay. We're going to work backwards. So we want to get our brand online, but let's do it right at this point. television. It's challenging at the moment. We can't really go see TV execs or whatever. So what we can do now is we can start by creating some content, assuming we know enough knowledge, right? And I'm just going to assume that. If you don't, you need to get enough knowledge. I think Aaron and I, if someone said to Aaron and I, once again, here's money to create a show by next week, come up with 50 ideas, we'll do it because we just probably have a bit of experience. So assuming you have the knowledge, great. You're at that position. You know what you want, great. I would, getting your brand online, don't worry too much about, and I'm going to just start spitting stuff out, Aaron. One thing people do is they get too much on the things that don't matter. That's like so many of us. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 19 years on my brand logo color. Dude, that makes no difference. No one cares. You know who cares? You. That's not, like, you're not Nike, And even so, like, it doesn't matter. Like, what matters is you. So get this out. You need to get your voice out to the people. You need to get noticed. So get your content out on the internet. And how do you do that? Start by doing some content every day. Use your use all the freebies. I'm giving you guys how to get your brand online without having to spend money too, because that's another whole entity, But let's just assume you have zero, you have nothing. So let's start. So use all your social media platforms, but then we have to what's going to come up is you're going to have to deal with that insecurity, what people are going to think of me. But you have to just mentally deal with that, which we've spoken about in the past, and you can watch the other episodes on that. So once you're present of okay, put stuff out all the time. Hey, this is what I'm doing, everybody. You don't have to be all coy about it. Hey, everybody, I want to start teaching men how to take themselves to another level with dating, with confidence, with business. Who's interested? Who's excited? Oh my gosh, Jay, that's great. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get these little wins, which is going to give you confidence, which is going to boost you to do more. So any kind of plan of attack.
I just saw this little snippet with Gary Vee, and it's Gary Vee and this woman, and I think it was I don't know if it was yours, or I think it was an Instagram Live, and he's talking to this woman. She's talking about all these things that she wants to do and she wants to get done, and she just doesn't know where to start, and she feels like she really has a voice, and what she's doing now isn't her gift or her calling.
Yeah,
and
I saw this yesterday.
Her calling is like, she wants to do that. And it gets into this thing where Gary Vee is just kind of watching her as she's explaining that she wants to do these talks to empower people to put their ideas out there. But then she's talking to Gary Vee, not putting her ideas out there. So Gary Vee is kind of going, this is just such a conundrum that's happening right now. This is fun to watch.
But here's the funny thing with that whole thing. Her story, what she's teaching people was even the funniest thing. She's teaching people about limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And then he was like, isn't that a limiting belief of yours? Like, I love that. I just think
absolutely.
I think I was sitting on watching my phone. I was like, when is he going to jump in on this one? Like, we know the magic trick before it's going to happen. Like, you know the chess move. It's like, when is he going to move that piece? So, no, dude, I love that, man. And I actually posted that yesterday as well, because it spoke to me, because I'm like, and this is what I love doing this, not only with you, Aaron, because, I like you as a bro, but it gets me out of my head too. Like, this is therapy for us, because I don't know why I'm being born like this, but I don't know if it's just whatever, but like, it just,
Yeah. It's good. It's good to get it out. I mean, that's why a lot of people talk about journaling in the morning. You kind of get that, you journal in the morning, you get that creativity kind of going, you get those thoughts out of there so that they're not knocking around in your head all day. And then you're getting it out of your head, you're getting it down on paper, and it just kind of leaves you fresh, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. So, okay. So coming back, so basically you're starting to do what I was saying, Aaron, is don't overwhelm. Whenever you start something, don't overwhelm yourself. What is this easiest thing to do to get little increments, right? And to be a perfect example, I've helped a few people lose weight. Now, I'm not a fat loss expert. I'm not, yes, you and I, Aaron, we go to the gym, but I definitely know it's the same exercise, whether you're trying to lose weight, it's change, right? How to change.
Yep.
So what I did is I met and he was a bit overweight and I could tell that he was uncomfortable. I just could feel it. And it was after an event and we just got talking and I felt in my heart I had to bring it up. It's probably not there's no right way. And I got into a place where he's like, of course, I want to lose weight. I said, great. I want to help you. Because like when you lose weight, you're going to feel better, right? And they're confirming with me. He goes, okay. I said, have you tried before? And he goes, yeah, I did this. I'm like, great. I'm listening to all the stories, right? And typically when you start something new, you want to overdo it. I'm going to get the gym. I'm going to get the trainer. I'm going to get the protein shakes. I'm going to get the meal plans. I'm going to buy the protein bars because that's going to change everything. Oh, but I got to buy the expensive ones because that's what Jay Cutler gets. And I saw him on YouTube talk about that. Okay. So I said, okay, hey man, listen, cut all of that stuff. Oh no, then of course he gave up, right? Then he went back to the original plan. I said, dude, what you need to do is this. Sign up to the gym, right? Go on the treadmill, right? Or cross train or whatever you can, or a bike, just for like half an hour every day. And be on your phone. And he goes, really? I said, just do that. Just do that. Oh, hang on. All right, back. Just do that for a week. And then he's like, really? I said, just do that. And what happened is that was enough for him to process and understand and do. And then after a week, because Aaron, you know what happens when you get that dopamine hit. It's like, I already know what's going to happen, but I don't want to say it. He messaged me. He's like, oh my gosh, like I started wanting to eat better. I felt better. I'm like, now he's feeling the magic without me telling him the magic.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm not hearing you come through. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. I got you.
Oh, okay. All right. I can't hear you, but all right. I don't know why. But yeah, so basically that's the same thing when you're trying to get to the next level. Like what can you do? What little wins can you do, right? They're going to make you get some traction. And I always tell people, like, do what you can control. Everyone could do a video every day.
Yeah.
You can. There's no rule. Like, I tell me if I'm wrong, but like, do a video every day. Hi, everybody. So here's Aaron and JayJay today. And today we want to talk to the men about how to get out of their head and get to a better level. Guys, as we know, if we want to feel good, we have to look good. So if you're feeling like you got a little bit of chub here, and we all get it, don't get me wrong, let's relook at a couple of things. Let's get our morning routine going, because I find that what we've found is that successful people, all people will have a morning routine. What's your morning routine? Tell me yours, I'll tell me mine. Great, let's see you tomorrow video. Like, easier said than done, but we get caught up. You do that for 2 weeks straight, and I think Gary Vee talks about this too, Aaron, speaking of Gary Vee. Yeah. I was the first person to go, yo, I'm like, when he said it, I sort of like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, walking away. He said people would come to him and say, hey, Gary, what's up? Like, no one's seeing my brand and no one's like seeing me. He goes, you making content? He goes, yeah. How long have you been making content for? The kid goes, 3 months. He goes, get out of here, man. Goes, come back at me at 3 years doing content every day. Then I'll have a conversation with you. And I'm like, I think I need to just. So we're quick, and I'm the worst, man. We're quick to jump to the new if it doesn't get traction, and you got to stick with it. But I'm telling you this because I'm the perfect. A lot of people would see me and go, "You jumped around a lot, yeah," because it didn't make me come alive. I thought it was going to, but then I went, "Oh, I'm not really enjoying the process here."
Okay.
And if you don't enjoy the process, it's going to be very challenging for you to push through the times when you're by yourself, 4:30 in the afternoon. There's no, like, it's raining like it is now. You just got a text from your girl or text from someone that just makes you feel bad. You're tired, you're depleted, you're feeling like terrible, but you've got to get this work done. Those are those rocks in your life where it's like you need to enjoy it enough to go, I need to get through this. Otherwise, it's going to be challenging.
And you said it doesn't make you come along, right?
Should I jump? Let me log in. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hang on.
Hop off and then hop back on. So as you guys are joining us, we're kind of talking about how to get your brand online. JayJay's going to jump off and come back on because we're having some audio issues. But how to get your brand online, and we're just talking about really holding yourself accountable. Tell other people, tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your siblings, tell a coworker, someone that can help hold you accountable to be able to accomplish these goals and to really get that brand online. And one of the things that JayJay mentioned was, as you're trying to get this brand online and you're trying to grow it, it's going to take time. It's not just going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, and you're going to really have to nurture it, water it, and help it to grow. And as you're doing that, you want to make sure that it's something that brings you alive. It brings you to life. It makes you come alive. It's something that you're passionate about. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. Is how do you go from your passion to an actual paycheck?
Yeah, and you know what? That's funny you said that, because a girlfriend of mine in LA has a brand called From Passion to Paycheck. I love that. It rolls up the tongue well. Look, and this is where you have someone in your corner who can advise you on how to do that. So, okay, give me an example, Aaron. Or let's because there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of, and this is where you got to get clearer on the other person or you. What is not success? Let's use the word success. What is success to you in doing this? Like, is it just to pay off your phone bill a month? Is it to make a full-time living? Is it to be a superstar and make millions? So let's just assume that is you want to get out of your 9 to 5, or you don't have a 9 to 5 at the moment. You lost your job and you want to learn to make some money in this time. Okay. With that passion. Okay. Well, as you and I both know, Aaron, the best way to do this is look at other people doing what you do and sort of not copy, but model them. That's the easiest way, because you are seeing what they've done. And it's like books. It's like what we're telling you. Like, I wish I had a coach when I was 18 years old, man. I wish I wasn't stubborn, or I don't know why I didn't, but now I understand the importance of having someone in my life to guide me, because I learned, it's that same story. I learned really the hardest way. Struggle, worries, concern. Like, if I had the book and go, just do that. Yeah, but I want to just do that. And I need to take my own advice with it, with where I'm going as well. Show me the book.
Speaking of books, there's this book, Peter Thiel book, Zero to One.
Whoa, boom.
I don't know if you've read this or heard of it. It's really fascinating, because a lot of what we're talking about now is in this book. It really has to do with how to build the future, notes on startups, and whatnot. And there's a couple quick things from here that stood out to me. Is one of the things he says is rejecting the unjust tyranny of chance. We're not a lottery ticket. Like, you just can't sit around waiting for things to happen. Like, oh, maybe it'll grow today. Maybe it'll happen today. You got to dive in there, and you really got to help make it grow. And then the other one that really stands out to me is, if you've invented something new, but you haven't invented an effective way to sell it, you have a bad business, no matter how good the product.
Yeah. I love that too. I love that. And this is something that I struggle with talking to people who have the idea of, like, do you focus on your passion, or do you focus on a business that's going to make money? Look, I'm curious to hear your opinion, Aaron. And for example, this Grant Cardone guy, he doesn't like the whole do what you love. He goes, do where the money's at. And I have no anger for that thought, because it's just an opinion of like what people focus on. I've tried to run down where the money is, and it never made me come alive. And it was very, very hard for me to continue. But that's me. Maybe I'm just not built in the way of, maybe I'm a feeler, maybe I'm a Cancer. I don't know what the answer is. I just know that if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, I'm going to break, Yeah. And it seems like that's what most people, I think human nature tends to be, if you like something, you'll enjoy it. You'll keep it.
I think that's a good subject to talk about on the show down the road. Doing what you love versus doing something where the money is. And I think that'll be interesting to talk about. But for those of you guys that may have just joined us here at the very end of the show, we have been talking about how to get your brand online. A lot of good tips here, and how to hold yourself accountable in order to do that.
Yes.
So as we kind of wrap up the show here, JayJay, per norm, can you give us a summary of how to get your brand online and how to hold yourself accountable and whatnot?
Yeah. So guys, if you want to get your brand online, the first thing you need to do is make the decision of what you want to do. Great. Since you've got that, now you have to do little things every day to go and achieve those things. Don't overthink it. Don't get too caught up, but you need to find a way to keep yourself accountable to do those things, and you will get there. Otherwise, as you know better than me, it won't get done. And then a year, 2, 5 years later, you'll be like this. Keep yourself accountable. You'll hit the goals. Get your brand online. Go win.
Gotta love that. You guys, make sure you tune in to our show. It's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. JayJay and I are just coming on here. We're chatting with you guys. We're giving you guys some of our insights, some of our experiences from being on stages all across the world and taking in this information and just learning from some of the greats. So we want to share with you. We want to have a conversation with you. So definitely make sure you guys drop us a comment. Make sure you do all the like, subscribe, all that stuff, so that you know when we're gonna be popping on. And we want to help you guys. You know, we want to help you. We want to help ourselves. We want to just get to the next level and just really achieve that greatness. So once again, my name is Aaron Smalls. That's JayJay, and thank you guys so much for joining us. Oh wait, I want to play this.
Yeah,
I want
nice
to play
work,
this.
Aaron.
I want to play this real quick before we leave. I don't even know where it is. It's disappeared on me. Oh, there it is. I found it. This is what I want to play.